Discussion we are talking about one day, Zach sold some books at $5 each. He received a total of X dollars. Write down in terms of X the number of books he sold. So for part A, so we know this for each book it's $5. If I take the number of books to be N, number of books that he sold to be N. So in that case, 5 times N will give us the total cost of this entire N number of books. So that's why N would be equals to the number of books would be X divided by 5. So X over 5 is the right answer for part A. Next, for part B, part 1, so we are talking about the next day, Zach reduced the price of each book to $4. So right now it's $4. He received $13 more than the first day. So write down in terms of X the number of books sold on this particular day. So in that case, so all we need to do is, so right now, so this N represents the number of books that he sold it, and he had received X dollars. So right now he received $13 more. So that means the total cost that he would have received is, the total cost that he would have received would be X plus 13. And per book, it's $4. So in that case, the number of books that he would have sold would be, number of books, which is N, he would have sold would be X plus 13. So that the total cost divided by the cost per book. So that's going to be X plus 13 over 4. So X plus 13 divided by 4 is the right answer for part 1. And for part 2, we are talking about he sold a total of 46 books during the 2 days. Write down an equation in X to show this information. So that means this is the number of books that he sold it on day 1, and this is the number of books that he sold it on day 2. So totally it's 46. So that means all we need to do is we have to do this X plus 5 plus X plus 13 over 4. This one should be equals to just 46. And this is the right answer for B part 2. And for B part 3, so we are talking about solve this given equation. So whenever we have a fraction, if I want to simplify this, we should make sure that we get the common denominator. So in order to get a common denominator, so we have to here, for the first part, I'm going to multiply it with 4 and 4. And for the second part, I'm going to multiply it with 5 and 5. So when we do this, so because right now we have the same denominator, which is 20, so the numerator is going to be 4x plus this 5, I need to multiply it to both x as well as 13. So 5 times x would be 5x, and plus 13 times 5 would be 65. Yes, of course, we can also use the calculator. So 46 is on the other side. When 20 goes to the other side, 4x plus 5x is going to be 9x. So we will be having 9x plus 65 is equals to 46 times 20. And when 65 goes to the other side, it would be 9x is equals to 46 times 20 is going to be 920 minus 65. So that gives us the value of x to be 920 minus 65 divided by 9. So when we put this one in the calculator, we will be getting the answer to be 95. So the value of x is 95. So that's the right answer for part 3. And finally, for part C, we are talking about calculate the mean price of the book during these 2 days. Give your answers to 2 decimal places. So in order to find the mean price, so first of all, we need to find out what is the number of books that we have sold it on day 1 and what is the number of books that we have sold it on day 2. So on day 1, we have sold x over 5 books. So that's basically x, we got it as 95. So it has to be 95 over 5 books. So 95 over 5 is nothing but 19. And next, for day 2, we have sold x plus 13 over 4. So in that case, the number of books that we have sold it would be, so it's basically 95 plus 13 over 4. So this is going to give us 50. This is going to give us 27. So on day 1, he has sold 19, and on day 2, he has sold 27. So in that case, if I want to calculate the mean price of a book, so mean price of one book, so mean price of a book will be equals to, so on day 1, whatever the books that we have sold it, so for that one, the cost would be $5. So that means it has to be 5 times 19. And on day 2, whatever the books that we have sold, so the cost is 4. So that has to be 4 times 27. And this entire thing divided by, so the total number of books, which is 46. And when we simplify this, we will be getting the answer to be 4.413 is something that we will be getting it. So for 2 decimal places, the answer should be $4.41. So the average or the mean price of one book has to be $4.41. And that's the right answer for the sum.